It was a beautiful summer morning. I opened my eyes in the warm sunshine. And then I walked to the restroom, washed my face, and looked at myself in the mirror and smiled. Then I realized something was wrong. That person in the mirror tried to smile, but the smile was broken and cold. This was a day when I realized half of my face was paralyzed. I lost the ability to move the right side of my face. I could not blink or close my right eye, so I always need to wear an eye patch during the day and put tape on my eye to fall asleep at night. And there was always spit dripping from my mouth. I visited the major hospitals in South Korea, but there was no doctor who could clearly tell me why I had this illness and how to treat it. I was a 19-year-old girl who loved to put on makeup and dress up, but the only thing I could do was lie in the hospital bed and cry. I blamed my doctors and this illness, and I blamed even myself. I was really devastated. And one day, my mom asked me, "Do you remember your stuffed animal, that fluffy seal? Whenever you hugged it, it made you feel better." Yeah, how can I forget my stuffed seal? My parents gave it to me as a present when I was 3, and I really loved it. It was the most unique stuffed animal in Korea at the time. And I still remember that it was a kind of a bit difficult to unwrap its gift box by myself, because that fluffy seal was as tall as I was at 3-year-old. And I also still remember that how excited I was when I finally took out my seal from that box. Then suddenly, at that moment, this thought came to my mind. Maybe this illness is also one of the gifts I received from my life. A gift, kind of ugly and crappy outside, but may have something beautiful inside. And it is painful and difficult to unwrap this gift because I'm getting a really giant one. So from this moment, I tried to stop complaining about this illness and try to feel good about it. And as you can imagine, it was not easy. I couldn't stop thinking that, okay, so let's say this is a gift, but why am I the only one getting these crappy gifts when my friends are enjoying their summer vacation? And I also ask myself questions like, what if there's nothing inside of this gift box? What is the point of my suffering? And the scariest part was, what if my face stays paralyzed forever? I struggled a lot. Many attempts were in vain. But the one thing I didn't give up was thinking that there might be my stuffed seal inside of this painful gift. So I began thinking, positive sides of this illness. And to my surprise, there were at least a few. So my illness gave me not only a chance to rest, but also an excuse to avoid my mom's nagging. My mom couldn't say a word whenever I overslept and read comic books in my bed. Also, I began valuing things I took for granted. My smile, my health, my friends and family who cared so much about me. After weeks of this practice, my emotion toward this illness evolved into gratefulness. It may sound really weird, but I felt grateful for having this facial paralysis, as I did for my stuffed seal. In the meantime, my face, which had not been healed by Western medicine or Chinese acupuncture, began showing improvements. And in the end, the right side of my face came back to its original condition without any side effects. I am looking at my gift box named facial paralysis. And when I opened it up, one of the gifts inside was this new lens. And when I looked through that lens, I could see not just blessings as blessings, but also burdens as blessings. There are people being grateful for difficulties or hardships long after that event has passed. But I believe that seeing burdens as blessings in the midst of those burdens helped me a lot to recover. But being grateful for burdens, that's a lot of work. It took me weeks and a month to feel genuinely grateful for this burden. So why should we bother? It turns out there has been a lot of research showing the positive effects of gratitude. And being an ex-business consultant here, like any other great consultant, I categorize those impacts into 3 buckets. My favorite number: body, brain, and our emotion. Gratitude is good for our body. Many studies done by gratitude expert Dr. Emmons at UC Davis show that it leads to 12% lower blood pressure, 10% less stress about illnesses, and more and better sleep, all of which are critical for curing illnesses. Also, it helps our brain too. When you feel grateful, your brain produces a surge of feel-good and happy brain chemicals like dopamine or serotonin. Also, it is good for our emotion. Grateful people feel 25% happier and less depressed. And more importantly, it makes us emotionally resilient to hard times, giving us the power to heal and bringing us hope. So now that we know that gratitude is scientifically proven to be good for us, so let's talk about how. It is relatively easy to say thank you for blessings such as free coffee at shop, nice weather at the GSB, and classmates' awesome talk. But things are getting tougher when something bad happens, like catching a cold, or fighting with your partner, getting a parking ticket. How can you feel grateful for getting a parking ticket? So here are some steps I suggest you as someone still struggling to hone the art of gratitude. So step 1 is facing it. You got the damn parking ticket. Do not ignore your burden. It's not about self-deception. And step 2 is breathing. Instead of saying shit or fuck, I love to say those words too. But try to stop and breathe to relieve your anger. And next, the most important step is you need to make a choice. What choice? You need to choose to be grateful for this parking ticket. I know it's not easy, but in fact, gratitude is all about choice. And fourth, the most painful part is reflecting. Think about how this parking ticket does something good for you. Imagine yourself holding the gift box wrapped with ugly parking tickets, like this. What's inside of the box? So for me, actually, I don't have a car. So I would feel really grateful for the fact that I had a car, so I could get the parking tickets. Also, we could be thankful for the warning sign that tells us, do not park here again, and prevents us from getting more expensive parking tickets in the future. So we just made a very tough choice to be grateful for this parking ticket. But this choice gets even more challenging when life throws really big gift boxes at you, like illness, loss, the end of a relationship. And honestly, I am still struggling here too. In my experience, there is no quick fix. It takes endless training to see burdens as blessings. But I hope my talk today helps you see your own burdens as gifts, so that you can take out your own stuffed animal with joy from those gift boxes. Thank you.